follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Yes, here we go. Follow the Money. Pauly Howard, Matt Youmans, live from Circa, Sirius XM Channel 158. Big program coming up. Jeff Seeley to talk golf. Scheffler gets his caddy back. Also, ESPN Baton Rouge, Jimmy Ott, talk about the Saints. How bad do they want to win? He'll answer that question. Also, LSU as well. And Jensen Lewis on what Manfred said Sunday night. How bad is the injury for Wheeler? And a lot of props and picks MLB. Top 5 Tuesday. Bill Barnwell top 5 list we'll get to. How about a 31-7 run? A good MLB card. We'll tear into the props. We got a big WNBA slate. We got a lot to get to. Quarterback news. How you doing, Matt Youmans?
Great to be here. How about the Milwaukee Brewers actually trailing the Cubs in the 6th inning 5-3? But the like you said, the big news of the day, the quarterback announcements, right?
Yes. So we start there for the second day in a row. About a week ago, if that, Richardson was minus 260 in some spots to start week 1 for the Colts. I know Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, tweeted out it's better that they realize their mistake and don't make it worse. Steichen came out today and said we are going with Danny Dimes week 1 at home against the Dolphins, and it will not be a short leash for Danny Dimes. So this has to sting that you take a guy number 4 overall in the draft a couple years ago, and he's not even your starting quarterback. So he has essentially been benched twice now during his short career. So Danny Dimes goes week 1. Your thoughts on the move here? And a bit of a surprise, but again, they're going to go with Dimes, and both guys have been busts in this league. At least Danny Dimes at least had one playoff run with the G-Men.
Well, you said it right. A bit of a surprise. I don't think it's a big surprise, but it's a bit of a surprise because when you draft a guy number 4 overall, like Anthony Richardson, so many people were skeptical of that. That makes a bold statement about a big mistake made by the GM and the head coach when you admit going into his 3rd season that he can't be your starting quarterback. So I think Chris Ballard, Shane Steichen put their jobs on the line by starting Danny Dimes, the quarterback, and saying, well, Shane Steichen, maybe he's butting heads with Chris Ballard. Who knows? Maybe the GM wants Anthony Richardson to start and the coach wants Daniel Jones.
Sure.
Like, their jobs are on the line, right? You got to win games. Steichen said it right. This is a year-to-year league. We can't look into the future. We got to try to win right now. Who gives us the best shot to win? Daniel Jones. That says a lot about how bad Anthony Richardson is if Daniel Jones gives you a better shot to win. And he has not been in your program that long. He's not been in your offense that long. So I think that Chris Ballard is, I've said this for a few years, one of the luckiest GMs in the NFL because this guy should have been fired a long time ago.
Yep.
He's been the GM of the Colts for about 9 years. They've never won the division, and he's still got his job. And that's a bad division.
Yep.
If you can't win a bad division, how's the GM keep his job? He's made a bunch of personnel mistakes. Shane Steichen, I think, has got to make it work with Daniel Jones, or he's going to be gone. They're going to clean house. So the Colts' top 2 guys there put their butts on the line with this. Now, as far as what you said about the comment, he's not going to have a short leash. You have to say that. You can't say, well, we're going to name this guy the starting quarterback, but he's going to be on a short leash. So if he makes some mistakes, we're going to switch.
Yeah.
You can't make that statement. You have to go with the guy. If the Colts start out 1-5, they'll probably switch quarterbacks. I think Colts under 7.5 wins looked like a pretty good bet last week. It still looks like a pretty good bet or even a better bet now.
Well, who are they stopping? That's the other thing. The defense was horrendous
Special
last
teams
year.
also stink. The defense stinks.
Yeah.
I don't think Steichen's a very good game and clock and game manager. Sometimes not a great play caller. I got questions about him as coach. So there are a lot of questions here about the Colts, and even when you play in one of the weakest divisions, maybe the weakest division in the NFL, I still think you could look at a team like this, bet under 7.5, and be pretty confident about playing the Colts under.
Well, I know Irsay had some comments when they drafted him that he was high on him. And certainly he's been buddies with Ballard. That's what kept him around.
He was out of his mind for a long time.
Okay, but the other thing was you knew he was a project when you took him. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing. He was just like you, this medical marvel. Big guy, right? Physical dude, but it's like...
basically 6'5", 245, 40-inch vertical, run like the wind.
Yeah, but not accurate at all.
And got a rocket arm.
Uh-huh.
Right. But in the NFL, you've got to thread the needle on 3rd and 8 on quick slants, and you have to be deadly accurate to survive and win games, and he's the opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes. I'm very intrigued by the Week 1 game. They're now 1.5, 2 at home against Miami. And everyone can't stand the Dolphins. Everyone's anti-Miami.
I hate both teams.
Yeah, right. But this is interesting that the Colts are on a 0-10-1 run Week 1.
I know.
How bad they've been. They can't win a damn game in Week 1. So should Indy be favored? But it's all anti-Miami throughout the entire summer, and it continues. And the total's sitting at 47. So that's a good way to start the season, an intriguing game. And you're right, I'm anti both teams as well.
I guess if you're into playing teasers, you would tease the Dolphins up to +8, right?
Not bad, yes. The other news, McMillan could miss the first 4 games for the Buccaneers. Awkward fall, hurt his neck. Liked him last year. I know we were on his props a lot last year. He came on late, good weapon for Mayfield. But he's going to be missing time for the Buccaneers. That came down. Better news today was Stafford and the Rams. So that's better news what McVay said today. We'll keep an eye on that. And your thoughts on Monday Night Football? Well, the Bengals won, and again, Dan Quinn is now 2-16 straight up run in the preseason. But that Cincinnati defense, they are not serious people. If Hendrickson's going to hold out, and as he told Laura Rutledge, they're not even close on guaranteed money. As bad as that defense is, and Washington had no problems in the first half scoring, they also have to protect Burrow. And that offensive line doesn't get enough attention how bad that O-line is. You get him killed, which what happened last year, too. So congratulations, the Bengals won, but there's a lot to be concerned about in Cincinnati.
And, we talked about this yesterday. Zach Taylor stopped, a 7-game preseason losing streak? He had 2 of the worst coaches in the NFL in the preseason going head-to-head last night. I was on the wrong side with Commanders plus 3.5. I really thought Dan Quinn, from what I read, he was going to play Jaden Daniels more. And he saw Daniels out there run around, score a touchdown, probably said, I don't need my quarterback running around that much. Let's take him off the field.
Yeah,
he
took
didn't
the
play,
hit. Yeah,
he didn't play much at all. And Sam Hartman was an absolute clown as a backup quarterback.
Yeah. I cannot believe Browning is not a starting quarterback. It still blows my mind.
Browning's going to be...
After what he did when Burrow got hurt?
He's good enough to be a starting quarterback for a lot of teams, including the Colts, probably, right? So, what was it last night? I think the Bengals scored 14 points within a span of about 30 seconds at the end of the first half, and that just blew the game open after the Commanders had that 14-7 lead. But I think you can look at the Bengals and say, well, this offense is exactly what we thought it is going to be. Highly explosive, high scoring. Burrow's going to put up big numbers. You got a bunch of big play receivers, and including Chase Brown, the running back, who can make plays out of the backfield. Offensive line could be a problem, and the defense could be a big problem if they don't get Hendrickson signed. So I'm pessimistic about the Bengals as a whole. If you made me play their win total today, it'd be under 9.5. They've missed the playoffs in 3 of 5 seasons with Joe Burrow. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
And
I thought Aikman was strong on the pregame. It's like you just wasted a season. The guy's in his prime. You have him and Chase, and you win 9 games, couldn't stop anything, and missed the playoffs. Unacceptable.
That's true.
I thought he was good.
Zach Taylor, by the way, first 2 weeks of the season, in his 6 years as coach, the Bengals are 1-11. So I think he's actually doing the right thing here by playing his first team offense in the preseason, because you've got to be better than that coming out of the gate in week 1.
Yep, and you know what to do Saturday. Baltimore money line. Taking on Washington, and Dan Quinn won't play anybody, and again, a 2-16 straight up run in the preseason. I don't know what to do with Washington, because now Quinn said it. Robinson's gone, and then you got to get McLaurin in there.
Right.
So I think Daniels is in for a huge season, and the weapons are. But if you don't have McLaurin, and now Robinson's gone, that's certainly going to hurt. And I don't know what Deebo Samuel has left. As I've said many times, I thought he was terrible last year.
He looks like he's lost a step.
Yeah.
He looks overweight.
That too.
I'm not sure he's going to be the dynamic playmaker a lot of people think. You see the name Deebo Samuel. I don't think he's going to do a whole lot in that offense.
Mm-hmm. How about the big announcement with the Circa Invitational? I love your show on Friday nights. Everyone loves it, all the picks. How about an update on who's in the field and also the Average Joe contest?
Circa Friday Football Invitational. We've got 14 of the 25 handicappers announced, and put 4 more names out there last night. Steve Fezzik, Chris Zanuck, Las Vegas Pro Bettors. Tony Gordon, who won the Circa Million in 2021, had the best ATS record in the history of the contest at 63-27.
Cool.
And then one of your favorite people on the planet, Big Randy McKay out of North Dakota. So we got 14 out of 25 named. And how about this? Bill 80, the network chief, put up on his newsletter, the Average Joe contest. And we announced prizes in the Average Joe contest. Last year was just the winner gets an automatic berth into the Friday night contest with the pros. Average Joe gets to compete with the pros, and that was Drew Bridges, a lawyer who lives in Boise, Idaho. He won the contest. Well, this year there's actual prizes up for grabs, flights to Vegas, Circa hotel rooms, Edge Boost is a sponsor, and we had 157 entrants in Average Joe, I believe, last year, 157. By 7 o'clock this morning, I think we had about 300 entrants. So in let's say, a 5-hour window blew away last year's number. So the Average Joe contest is going to be highly competitive, and it's great to see that take off.
Absolutely. Well done. Good job. Brewers trying to do it again. They were down 5-0. It's 5-4 Cubs, bottom of the 6th, game 1 of a doubleheader. Clock's ticking. Week 0 starts this weekend. NFL just weeks away. Get VSiN Pro. Lock in your edge. New subscribers get instant access to our college football and NFL betting guides loaded with team previews, power ratings, betting systems, best bets from VSiN's top analysts, and that's just the start. The morning email from Bill 80, every best bet, every host, every guest, betting splits, market insights, betting systems, and numbers from Mackinnon, the prop analyzer from the NFL, dog videos, the tools, data, and systems, $9.99 or save 50% with an annual plan. VSiN.com/subscribe. VSiN.com/subscribe. Oh, mama! This is the best and the biggest Malinsky special I've ever seen tonight. It's coming up on Follow the Money.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I love a game tonight. Oh, I love a game tonight. Here we go, folks. Our old friend Dave Malinsky, may rest in peace. Always talked about that it's always odd. You come back home after a long road trip, and usually it doesn't go well. And this is a Malinsky special like the likes I've never seen. Tampa Bay returns home after a 4-city, 12-game, 14-day road trip, and they had played 19 of 22 on the road. They're at home against the Yankees. It'll be a ton of Yankee fans anyways. Rodon's been good. Yankees starting to get hot. They're $1.30. He's opposed by Boz, who's got an ERA of 6 and change at home and is 0-4 with an ERA of 8 in his last 5. It reminds me of a Nigel Seeley breakdown. If it loses, the information's so good, how can you be mad? But the Yankees have got to win this game, everything. It's the all-time Malinsky special with Tampa tonight. And we had another Malinsky special, TMI Ozzy. You didn't let me know. I missed it. It was with the Braves last night. And the White Sox came out and pounded them as well. It doesn't always win. It's nothing, no luck. And trends don't pay the rent, like our buddy Jimmy Vaccaro always says. But it's an all-time Malinsky special. And I think the Yankees get it done tonight. Everything in our favor. As bad as Boz has been in Tampa returning after this unbelievable road trip, I think Rodon and the Yankees get it done. Your thoughts on the game tonight? And how about a status check and update on the Yankees in your mind?
Well, the Yankees won 5 of 6, but like I said last week, don't be surprised if the Yankees start to get hot because the schedule gets a lot weaker. And they beat the Twins and the Cardinals, and now they're catching the Rays in a good spot here. So you're talking about the Rays coming home after a long trip. It's really not even like a home game for the Rays.
That's true.
At Steinbrenner Field, it's going to be 80, 90% Yankees fans. And now that the Yankees are starting to win again here in the past week or so, I think there's going to be a better feeling around this team, a little bit more momentum with the Yankees. I'm thinking about betting the Yankees in this game. I'm not crazy about it because Carlos Rodon's one of those pitchers I don't completely trust. He started against the Marlins in Miami, and that was on August 1st. 4 2/3, 4 earned runs, gave up a homer, walked 5. He's been walking too many guys. If you look at his last 3 starts, he's walked a total of 11, and that's over 16 2/3 innings. That's a bad number. Too many walks for Rodon, and like I said, in his last road start, he was not very sharp. However, in his past 2 starts that was his road start in Miami. His past 2 starts overall, been pretty good. And overall this season, if you look at his numbers, you could say, well, you got the clear advantage here with the better pitcher. I like Rodon has 10.1 strikeouts per 9, a whip of 106. He's 12-7 across 25 starts. Typically gives the Yankees a shot to win, but I don't think he's going to be lights out tonight. He rarely is, and I'm not going to be overconfident betting the Yankees. Here's another thing to point out here, Pauly. Overnight, Circa had the Yankees at minus 141. Right now, it's Circa Yankees are minus 124. So it's not like sharp money is on the road favorite in this spot.
Okay.
I just saying, exercise some caution here because I'm cautiously optimistic about the Yankees. Let's put it that way. I'm probably going to bet Rodon, but I'm not overconfident about it.
I like the Phillies tonight, too. Sanchez is going. Bryce Miller makes his first start since early June. Phillies' bats have been coming alive. Trey Turner is on fire. 4 for 6 last night. 5 games in a row with multi-hit games. Five straight multi-hit games. Hitting .472 in his last 8. Sanchez 5-0, 2.33 run at home against a guy who hasn't been out there June 6th, my fault. Been out there since June 6th. Oh, I think the Phillies can get there. Now, they're plus money on the run line. I think they could get to Miller, rough him up. And certainly, if you want to get nuts here, go ahead. Trey Turner, 3 total bases, plus 310. And you keep going up, and how big that gets. I mean, who's telling? I mean, look what he's doing every single game. He's going deep. He's hitting doubles, multi-hit games. You could really have some fun with that when you look at his props. But 4 for 6 last night. He continues to get it done. And I think the Phillies get it done as well and take out Miller in this game. Are you worried about the Red Sox?
How are you going to bet this Phillies? Now, Christopher Sanchez was not great the last time out against the Reds, but he was okay. And once he started to get a lot of Cy Young hype and a lot of talk about how he could win that award.
Then he had a bad start.
Yeah, he didn't have a good start in Cincinnati. But with Philly at minus 2.8, how are you going to bet this? You lay one?
I could do that. I mentioned the run line's plus money. And then Trey Turner is plus 310 for 3 total bases. You can do that, too. Of course, the Ohtani thing got me. He starts 2 for 2 with 2 singles.
Man, that's amazing.
And then he got robbed. It's funny how that works. He had an RBI single, too, so if he could have played that. But you can really have fun with this if you ladder it and what this guy could do with the total bases and the hits and everything. But, you could also do Sanchez to record a win, or you can also bet Miller under outs. There's a lot of different ways you can attack it here. Because how long is he going to go? What's he going to have? And the layoff here could get him. And Sanchez 6.5 with his Ks. Miller is 3.5. So there's a lot of different bets you can make there as well with that. And then Harper went deep a couple times in the win as well. There's a lot of guys who are on fire, and a lot of guys who are putting up big numbers on what they're doing. Harris for the Braves is hitting .500 in his last 11. Lindor is hitting .560 in his last 7. And Suzuki's hitting .625 against Woodruff. Mookie, .444 career against Gomber. Freddie, .375 with 2 bombs against them as well. There's a lot of good numbers there. And that Dodger thing was something last night. That went off at 320 at Caesars. You pointed out what the odds were at Circa compared to DK and how high it was Caesars and DK, and it's 2-0. Looked like the Dodgers are going to crush them. Ducks on the pond. Freeland gets out of it. They come back and win. They're frisky now. They've won 6 of 7.
I know.
And they were a huge dog.
We talked about this how many times during yesterday's show. That was not a good spot for the Dodgers off that weekend series with the Padres. Hit the road, go to Coors. I like to look at the sharpest books on the screen and what the line's doing at the sharpest books. And Circa was not moving off that 272 on the Dodgers yesterday. DraftKings is going berserk, which is telling you there's a lot of public action on the Dodgers yesterday. But Rockies, I'm not even sure most people who bet the game knew that the Rockies were 5-1 in their last 6 going into yesterday's game.
Oh yeah.
And how do you explain it? One of the worst teams in the history of baseball suddenly getting hot in the middle of August when the games mean nothing.
That's right.
Right? That's what baseball's all about.
So now the Dodgers have lost 4 in a row on the road. They have never lost 5 in a row on the road under Roberts. So that's on the line tonight. And of course they're huge favorites going against Gomber. And we'll see if the Dodgers can get something going offensively. I just ran down all those numbers what these guys are doing and how well they fared against Gomber and the big boys as well. How about Boston? Now that the Yankees, this is great. The Yankees, Seattle, and Boston are tied. Cleveland's 3 back. Kansas City 3.5 back. Boston has now lost 7 of 11. I think it's going to be home run derby tonight, as both guys, Buehler and Sagano, give it up. Although Sagano's been pretty good his last 4, 3-0 with a 2-3-1. Orioles playing the spoiler role right now, but Buehler's $1.50 and a total of 9. I give the Orioles credit; they've been battling and hanging in there and playing good ball. But Rogers has been dynamite. That was a vicious beat on the total. And we'll see now. Boston was so good at home. Now they dropped a couple here at home. I don't think Buehler should be this high. I think they're going to touch him up tonight.
Yeah, probably not. When I was on the show last week with Mitch, that was one of the bets I had was Buehler plus 150 against the Padres in San Diego, and he shut down the Padres lineup.
Okay.
In that game. I mean, he's capable of going out there and shutting down the opposing lineup. I'm not saying he's going to do it tonight. Something's just a little bit out of sync with the Red Sox offensively right now, too.
Yeah.
So I don't trust Buehler at that price, 130 to 140. Total of 9. Is that one of your better bets?
I think
that over.
I think that should go over. Yeah. Because both guys give up the long ball, and see if Red Sox can break out of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's runs in the Tiger game. You know, it always seems when you go back and you got 2 studs going against each other, it doesn't live up to the hype. There were 7s out there. DraftKings at 7.5. It's Brown against Skubal. But Skubal hasn't been himself in the last couple starts, and he's been getting touched up here and roughed up a little bit. So I think with an ERA of 5 in his last 3 starts, I think he can see some runs here, and he's $1.60 at home against Brown. And now the Astros scuffling a little bit. But they still hanging on the first-place lead with what's going on with Seattle.
Well, I tell you what, we're watching the Cubs right now try to hold on to this win against the Brewers, 6-4 late innings. I'm thinking about playing the Brewers in the second game tonight with Brandon Woodruff at a cheap price, right around 1.
7-0 in his starts, yeah.
It's kind of tough not to back the Brewers in game 2 today at that type of price. Right now, 114 here at Circa.
Yep. And as I mentioned yesterday before the game got rained out, Tyone, 1 good start, 1 bad start against the Brewers. But they're 7-0 in Woodruff starts, and he's 4-0 with an ERA of 2, 6-4 Cubbies in the 7th. How about a 31-7 run? That's what Bill Barnwell from ESPN has pulled off here with his column. Top 5 teams likely to improve next on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll do this the next couple days. Bill Barnwell, ESPN.com, every year does his 5 teams likely to improve and 5 teams to decline. We'll start with the improvement today. And last year, this is his 9th year he's done this at ESPN. Last 8 years, 31-7. The average jump coming by 3.4 wins per 17 games. Last year's column, he went 4-1. Cardinals, 4 wins to 8 wins. Chiefs rode their luck. Probable every close game, 11 wins to 15 wins. Chargers, 5 wins to 11 wins. Youmans loved them. And Washington, the Commanders went from 4 wins to 12 wins and went to the NFC Championship game. Team number 1, Giants. Last year, 3-14. Point differential, minus 142. Record in games decided by 7 or fewer points, 1-7. Toughest schedule in the NFL. But, as he points out, I think you were on this game. A neighbor's drop cost them a chance to beat Washington on the road, and they also lost their kicker in that game.
Yeah.
Right? They were within 1 score of the Steelers in the 4th quarter of Monday Night Football. 2-point try didn't help. It didn't go their way. Week 14 against the Saints, Gano field goal wiped off the board with a penalty. Lost that game. Tracy fumbled in overtime against the Panthers and lost that game. So I mentioned how everything went against them in terms of close calls and what happened. They also couldn't control the turnover battle as well as what happened. They were just the 5th team in the past 30 years to finish the regular season with 1 turnover margin victory, and the first since 2012. Incredible. No luck in what happened. We're big on Scatterbo. We're big on Dart. Coaching staff on the hot seat. We'll see how long it takes for Wilson is benched. But if that happens, we have a lot of confidence in Dart, and I am like a lot of people that have done a 180 on the Giants. And can they go up from 3 wins to 7 wins? I don't think that's crazy. And Barnwell makes the case that the Giants are one of his 5, and again, 31-7 going back the last 8 years. That's sticking his nose out there, though. That's a big one. This one is no surprise. Just based on, because easiest schedule in the league, injury luck, special teams, disaster, defense fell off, everything went against the 49ers. 6-11, minus 47-point differential. Record in games decided by 7 or fewer points, 2-6. You got Purdy locked up. You have still a lot of talent, even though Samuel's gone. You have the injuries to deal with, though. But they were the league's most injured team, ranked 30th in offensive adjusted games lost and 31st in defense adjusted games lost. While you look toward McCaffrey and Williams and suggest they're prone to missing time, the 49ers were the 4th healthiest team by the same metric in 2023. Oh, the tough losses. Week 3 against the Rams, Moody missed a field goal that would have put the Niners up 10 with 2:48 left. They were up 14 in that game. Week 5, they were beating the Cardinals. They were going to go up 2 scores. Jordan Mason fumbled inside the 10-yard line. Arizona drove the length of the field for a game-winning field goal. Up by 4 on the Seahawks with 46 seconds left. Geno Smith had a game-winning touchdown run as well. And they also had several kicking issues and lost kickers in the special teams. And the fumble recoveries didn't go their way with their luck factor. They were 27th in that, and they lost 15 of 26 fumbles on offense and recovered only 6 of 20 on defense. They forced just 2 turnovers over the final 9 games after their Week 9 bye, posting the worst turnover rate on a per-drive basis of any team since at least 2000. And then their record collapsed, and they had a 1-7 run as well. I'm big on the Niners. I think you take a chance at 6-1 for the 1 seed, but I don't think 11 wins is crazy. 10 wins, and again, that'd be in line with Barnwell, and that would be a winner, and that would be graded as a winner with Barnwell. What are you at with the Niners?
All right, so Barnwell's 5 most improved teams for 2025 are who?
Starts off with Giants and the 49ers.
Okay.
And then the Raiders.
All right. I could buy those 3.
Okay.
See, when we're talking about Barnwell's column, most improved teams or teams that are going to be most in decline, I'm more impressed by his record on the most improved teams. That's harder to project.
Okay.
It's definitely harder. It's easy to talk about the teams that are going to decline, which we're going to get to in a minute.
Uh-huh.
I've got a comment I'm going to make about that. But as far as his most improved teams, I could buy all 3 of those. I think the Giants are much better than people think. Definitely more talented than a lot of people think. Now, that schedule is always going to be a high hurdle for this team to overcome. The 49ers, I don't think, are all that talented, but their schedule is soft.
Okay,
and they're going to be much improved in the win-loss column because of the schedule. That's a big part of it. I don't like the San Francisco defense nearly as much as I did a couple of years ago.
Right.
Not even close.
Getting Salah back's big, though, I think.
Right.
Now, I think
as far as Raiders go,
this one's tough because I think JT the Brick, who's involved with the organization, texted me. It's completely different. It's buttoned up. It's a great staff. Everything's different about them, but it's a tough division. So while they might look like a real outfit now, going from Carroll to Pierce, and it's going to look different and everything's going to be professional, you're still probably going to be a last place team in a best division in football, maybe, or second best division in football. So 4-13, can you still get to 7-8 wins? I don't know. 12th toughest schedule in football.
This one's going to be a little bit tricky, even though I think the Raiders are going to be better. I've never been one that completely buys into Geno Smith. I don't know about you. Offensive line's got a couple issues. The back end of that defense has got some soft spots. And again, Pete Carroll did the wrong thing Saturday. When you're in a tie game and you got first and goal, or you have first down at the 12-yard line, you got to get that ball in the end zone. You don't settle for a field goal and then drop it into soft coverage on defense.
Yeah.
You let the other team drive right down the field and beat you. And if you're going to manage games that way in the NFL, you're going to lose a lot because, like I said, there's a small margin for error between winning and losing in the NFL, and the coach has got to make the right decisions. You got to be aggressive in the right spots, and the Raiders did not do that Saturday in that game against the 49ers. If you're going to manage games that way, you're not going to improve much in the win-loss column. Hopefully when he gets regular season, he's going to be more aggressive because that was exactly the wrong way to play that Saturday. And again, but Geno Smith, I know some of the numbers point to him being a top 10 quarterback in the league. I'm not quite buying it yet. I got to see it to believe it. You got to prove it to me.
Well, I'm glad you said that, too, about coaching because that leads us to our fourth team, Jacksonville. Record last year, 4-13. Point differential, minus 135. Record in games decided by 7 or fewer points. 3-10.
Yeah.
Ninth easiest schedule in the league. Losing coin flips was the whole story of last season. 13 of their 17 games decided by 7 or fewer points. They went 1-3 and were outscored by a combined 86 points in the 4 games that weren't one-score contest, which doesn't speak highly of what Doug Peterson cooked up, but they were unlucky to finish with just 4 wins.
Yeah, when you lose a lot of close games, there are 4 places you can look. You're going to look at the head coach, right, and how he manages a game, the quarterback. You're going to also look at the offensive coordinator and defense coordinator. How aggressive or conservative are you getting? And I got a lot of questions about Trevor Lawrence, too, coming through and winning close games, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Bill Barnwell, 31-7 last 8 years. Teams to improve. On average, they jump by 3.4 wins. Last year, 4-1. Winners, Arizona, Kansas City, Chargers, and Washington. This year, Giants, Niners, Raiders, Jags, Bears. 5-12 last year, minus 60 point differential. Record in games decided by 7 or fewer points, 3-7. He said everything looked good until the Hail Mary game.
Lost
and that's
10 in a row.
They absolutely quit.
Yep.
They quit on the coaching staff. Absolutely. And I think
it's pretty easy, actually, to predict the Bears are going to be an improved team because they had such a low win total of 5. It's a major coaching upgrade to bring Brent Johnson and staff in to replace Eberflus, who was a buffoon. And it's also going to be the quarterback's second year, Caleb Williams' second year. He didn't know what he was doing last year, running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and the coaching staff didn't help matters. So don't you think it's a layup to say the Bears are going to be an improved team over 5-12?
Yeah, because you're not asking much to get They get to A to be a winner for Barnwell, but still under the win total with his definition of it. But enter Ben Johnson, who might be the most hyped first-time head coach to take over a team in recent league history. I agree with that. And the simple logic here is he fixes the offense in Williams, and former Saints DC Dennis Allen gets a unit that looked great in the second half of 2023 back on track, and the Bears rocket forward.
Bears are going to be pretty good defensively.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent. It's a good roster.
In that division, I still think if they go 8-9, I think it's going to be a really good season for the Bears.
5th toughest schedule in the NFL as well. We'll revisit this later in the show and also get to the teams to decline as well. Always a good job from Barnwell, and that record is also strong with the top 5 teams to decline. Up next, win some, lose some big tickets cash last night with props, 2 bad beats, and we'll get to Top 5 Tuesday. Top 5 drive-thrus coming up on Follow the Money. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM, Channel 158.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
6-4 Cubs, top of the 9th. Brewers 12-1 take back in play. 10.5 under $5 at DraftKings. Brewers down their final 3 outs. Monday Night Football over 39.5 up to 43.5. Based on the opening number, preseason overs now 23-9. Most runs last night. Hello, White Sox 30-1. Highest scoring game, White Sox Braves 15-1. Will there be 22-plus runs scored in a game? Yes, plus 550. Trey Turner, 5 multi-hit games in a row, 4 for 6 last night in the win. Rockies, plus 260. White Sox, plus 180. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. How about this? You go there all the time. I love Naked City Pizza. The wings, it's a great spot. Guy Fieri made the call. Said, hey, we'll get you on the TV show. There is Chris on the right, Guy Fieri on the left. He got the guinea pie. He wanted that. He got on the TV show, and he goes, when Guy calls, you got to deliver. And he delivered himself, and there you go. That, he's been on that TV show a couple times, and Naked City.
That's a great photo. Actually, known Chris, who runs that place for a long time. We were over at Office Bar, Naked City Pizza last week.
Were you?
During Bet Bash week.
All right.
We had a big party with a bunch of people who were here that night. Spanky showed up that night.
How about that?
He did. He left Circuit, came over to Office Bar, Naked City. Sammy P., our buddy, threw the party that night.
Good.
And that's a great spot, man. I saw last week someone ranked the top 10 pizza places in Vegas and did not put Naked City in the top 10. That's got to be in your top 10.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Huge mistake not to put Naked City in the top 10.
Big time. A viewer sent this in. This is still good. You know, all this $15 for a beer business.
Come on.
This is what you can get for $20 at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Mercedes-Benz. Slice of pizza, big pretzel, popcorn, large soda. Are those chicken tenders too? Chicken tenders, a hot dog, and nachos.
Wait.
Yes. Art blank, baby. Art blank, baby.
Wait a minute. You get all that for
Absolutely.
a total of $20?
Absolutely.
There's no way.
Yeah. They got like everything's $2, $3. Yes.
You're kidding.
Damn right.
I have new respect for Arthur Blank and the
Yeah.
Falcons organization.
Right. Well, man, so what doesn't
Huh?
they got a Chick-fil-A there though? It doesn't make any sense because they're not open on Sundays. But yeah.
Occasionally they can play a Thursday or a Monday
Yeah,
night
right.
game.
Look at that.
That's incredible.
That is. In today's day and age.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go some places and pay like a $50, $60 for that.
No doubt.
All right.
That is strong.
That's well done.
Good job. Lose some. We got there with Barnsley. League One, Peterborough United lost again. They're 0-4 on the season. They've scored 1 goal. They used to be the over team.
Ridiculous.
Dan Quinn loses again. 2-16 running the preseason. Next up, 2.5-point dog Saturday against Baltimore. Dodgers from 260 up to 320 at Caesars. Wow. No good there. One lose some here. Mark sent this in on X. When we go to the airport, he was there. Oh, boy. Guy's sitting down waiting for his flight, and he puts his apple under his seat, and he said he took a bite. He put it on the floor, and he's yep, that's right.
He picked, let's see.
That's his apple.
He picked it up off the floor at the airport and ate it?
Yeah. He was watching the whole thing.
There's some things I would not even do. And you got to be crazy to do that. You're asking for trouble.
Oh, no. Oh, that's bad.
I doubt that floor gets swept very often.
No, either way, it's
Disgusting.
not. Why don't you just hold it? Why don't you put it on your bank. Why would you put it on the floor and then take a bite out of it? Come on. Some bad beats. The under in the Orioles-Red Sox game. And a vicious push in the Blue Jays-Pirates game as well. That one was tough. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff like that lately with bullpen hijinks in the bottom of the 8th. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own with the sharp plays you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI, plugged into trusted insider sources. Delivers the edge serious bettors use every day. Free betting reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights sent straight to your inbox or X feed. Isn't some weekend hobby. Since 2011, he's been delivered documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com. Trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit sharpplays.com. Stay ahead of the line. Let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's a top
You ain't first, you're last.
5
That's not enough, Dad!
Tuesday.
I've been ready for this my whole life.
Top 5 Tuesday.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Follow the money.
We need to stand tall and be united and strong. We are not being asked, and we will not move up in the drive-through line. If there's no one behind us and no one in front of us, hell no, we won't go. Stay firm. Give us our food.
Well said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, top 5 drive-thrus.
You're not going to find McDonald's in the top 5.
No, you will not, after their shenanigans lately. I've never had an incident at Wendy's.
Oh, I have.
Oh, no. Have you?
Oh,
I always get good service, fast, never asked to pull up. I used to go in there all the time. I've been there a long time. It goes back to the days with the chili and the breadsticks. Long time with Wendy's. Never had an incident. Checking in at number 5. I think Taco Bell's strong. In and out. You know, it's a deep menu as well. You might say stuff's easy to make. Taco, no problem. Still, they usually get me in, get me out, and no problem at Taco Bell. And I understand the same thing can be said here about number 3, where you're just talking about chicken. But you can have a big order, and there's times where I've got the tailgate special at Raising Cane's. And that's like, 50 tenders. Bam! Have it ready to go. There you go, sir.
Why are you buying 50 tenders?
Oh, a long day of football, watching with a couple buddies.
Yeah?
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, sure, it's a great with the
throw
Texas toast.
You throw parties at your house? That's the first time I've ever heard of this. Well, since when did this start to happen? Huh?
I get it. I bring it up. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, number 3, Raising Cane's. Youmans will probably have another one coming up because they know he's a Huey Magoo's guy. Number 2, In and Out, and that's exactly what they do. In and out. It's always busy. There's always a line. You shouldn't drive off because of that. They're going to get you through in no time at In and Out. They do an incredible job. And again, whatever they're doing at Chick-fil-A is all-time good. It's just a phenomenal job. How organized, professional that is. They come out with the tablet and the headset. What would you like? What's your name? And they get you right through. They do an awesome job at Chick-fil-A. Number 1, and it's a blowout as far as I'm concerned.
That's a pretty good list. I've only got an issue with number 5.
All right.
But the rest of your list is solid. I go Chick-fil-A number 1. No doubt the gold standard of customer service and drive-through efficiency. Chick-fil-A is number 1. It's not even close. Number 2 is Culver's. Culver's, by the way, I've been told by somebody within that franchise, they use Chick-fil-A's customer service model.
Oh.
And they teach it to their employees.
Very good
Yeah,
info.
so Culver's number 2 on my list. In and Out number 3. You're right about that. You'll drive by an In and Out on a Friday night, Saturday night, pretty much any night of the week.
15 cars.
And there's going to be a traffic jam.
Absolutely.
You're right. 10 to 15 cars, and they keep that line moving. And they do a great job. They get your order right, get you through there fast. That is fast food. In and Out deserves, I could say deserves your number 2, even though I give Culver's the edge.
Yeah,
In and Out's top 3.
I never used the Culver's drive-thru, but I'm sure that's the case, yeah.
Raising Cane's number 4 on my list, and Taco Bell is number 5. So you and I are on the same page with most of this here because I think Raising Cane's and In-N-Out have a bit of an advantage because they only have basically one menu item, right? So you can just crank it out, keep the line moving.
All right.
And that's why they have top 5 drive-thru. Taco Bell, I've never had an issue there. You might, pull up and you have 6 cars in front of you, but within 5 minutes, you're pretty much on your way, right? So that's my top 5. Wendy's, I do have an issue. I've had several problems in the Wendy's drive-thru over the years. Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn. Bad beat.
Let me tell you one last week. I went to Wendy's over on Sahara, West Sahara, and ordered a spicy chicken sandwich and a large ice water, and that's it, right? And I pull up, and the lady says that's going to be $11.15.
No.
Spicy chicken sandwich and ice, $11.15.
Has to be a mistake.
And I said, what? What are you talking about? That's it. What do you mean? How much is the water? The water is $4.11.
No.
No way. No way. I said, first of all, you got to tell somebody when they put the order in that the water's $4. Do you still want it? I'm not paying $4 for the water. Well, you have to pay for the cup. No, you can't charge $4 for an ice water, right? That's an issue. Lack of communication. I said, I want to see the manager. Brought the manager out, and manager said, it's $4 for the water. I did what you did. I said, have a great day. Just drove off. Not giving him $1. Okay. No chance.
Have a great day.
How do you think you can charge $4 for an ice water?
The cup?
Huh?
The cup.
Come on.
Okay. Very good.
Cup's worth 10 cents.
It's tough. That's a tough one. Can Scheffler do it again? Jeff Seeley on the program coming up next to preview golf on Follow the Money. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, live from Circa